Okay. We back? Yeah? Better? Okay. I don't think you missed anything. But I have no idea what I was talking about, so let's start over. Yo, thank you guys for hanging around. Alright, so what I see here is that this whole area right here isn't quite dark enough, and I want it to be darker. And I want it to be darker with kind of a cool blue-gray shade. So I'm just going to put one big wash of blue-gray with, oh, for fun, let's put some red in there too. And let's see what happens. And I'm going to come in later and I'm going to put a little more shadowing around her chin, but I can't do that quite right at the moment, because I want to keep this area. I can't get, it's too wet. It's not ready for it. I just pulled the frisket off of my subject's eyes, so I'm going to go in there and tweak that just a bit. So the cool thing about painting eyes in this position from the side, usually you think about the iris being in the middle of the pupil. The pupil, got that backwards. The pupil in the middle of the eyeball, which it is, but when you're looking at an eyeball from the side, what you're seeing is the eyeball here, and then the cornea comes over it, and then the iris is down here. So it's actually right here on the side of the eye where I'm going to be painting her pupil in, as opposed to like the middle. And on the other side, it doesn't really matter because you can't see it. And what I'm going for right now is little details that are going to provide contrast and make the picture look a little bit more crisp. So like cleaning up this line here. It's a really small detail. But this contrast here is going to help her face look more, a little bit less kind of soft and fading into the distance, and a little bit more present, maybe? More like a face. To get a little bit more depth in her hair, right now this is kind of, it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which is it's softly blending in. I want to add a little bit more intense dark color, just to bring out certain areas. Probably gonna be pretty invisible on the... Oh no, you can kind of see it. Thanks to reflections. I'm doing the same thing up here in the lighter part of her hair, but I'm using a lighter shade. One of the things I like about having my reference photos on my laptop is that I can easily zoom in, zoom out, enhance certain areas to really focus in on a particular feature and make sure I'm capturing it the way I want to. The other reason I like having it on my laptop is that I'll often fiddle with the photo in certain ways to help me see some of the relevant details better. So like I can bump up the contrast and see what data the camera has, because it can see some things about like, what are the areas of highest contrast and lowest contrast, and then I can compare that to my understanding of it, which can help me to see stuff that I might not have seen otherwise. I'm not doing that at this moment. I'm just zooming in and zooming out, but that is one of the things I like about these newfangled laptop contraptions. Alright, we're starting to get into fiddly territory, and trust me, I can fiddle like nobody, and I can fiddle with this for the next 10 hours, and I'm not sure anyone wants that. So I am going to pull back and take a look at this and decide what else needs immediate attention, but for the most part, this is a fairly done portrait. I think there's some things that I could still change. I think that the jawline needs a little bit of more depth in here. It needs to be a little bit darker. It kind of looks like her face is broader than it is in the reference photo. And so adding shadowing in here is going to help to narrow that in a little bit. This area down here could also be a little bit darker. I may or may not do that. I may or may not bring in the color down here. But more or less, this is the basic principle of doing a portrait in watercolor. The next several hours of portrait work would be rinse and repeat of just lifting little pieces of pigment, little areas of pigment, wherever I feel like it is too dark, and adding pigment wherever I feel like it is too light. I'm going to see if I can get this camera to come in a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna take it off. Just so I can give you kind of a closer up view. First go on the whirly ride. Okay, that's probably about as far as I can get without starting to lose. Do we have focus here? Okay, I'll just pan down. If you want me to zoom in on anything or look at anything else in particular, let me know. Something else I'll definitely plan on doing is adding some more depth to the hair that's around her face. It needs some darker areas to really look right. It looks a little bit flat to me right now. Yes, Bryant, the initial outline was in pencil. I always start with a pencil sketch. Some people like to erase their pencil marks along the way. I actually like to leave them. I think they add interesting character. I'm quite happy to have them stay in the painting. Go ahead and decide or ask any other questions you might have. Final closing statements. While I fuss with this a little bit more. Oh yeah. Yeah, some people, like, I think really don't like having the pencil marks left over, and I just kind of think they're cool and interesting, so. Okay. Last thing I do, when it's actually done, I put my signature on it. And usually I wait until it's actually done to do that. But since we're calling it a night, you can watch. Oops. And I usually always put this down in, some color that is far away from where the signature is and is going to provide a little bit of pop. In this case, I'm going to go with my dark Payne's gray that's over here. And I'm going to do this with a smaller brush because it's itty bitty. Ta-da! All right, folks. Thank you so much for showing up. It's lovely to have you. I'm learning new things about how to speak and paint at the same time with varying levels of success. If you're not here from one of the platforms that I have announced my intentions on. Just know that I'm doing this because I have a live demo coming up in the next month or so, and I'm not very good at speaking and painting at the same time. In fact, I'm not very good at speaking, period. So this is practice for me to get used to explaining my process and making it just a little bit clear what it is that I'm doing. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate the support very much. Please let me know if there were, like, technical difficulties other than the technical difficulties that I know about. I'm very interested in improving the process or anything that I can do to make it snappy. Cool. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks to everyone that, I know in real life and anyone here that I don't know in real life. Y'all have a good night.